I'm Gerald Allen, and this is the instructional video for simple and compound gear trains. The goal of this experiment is to gain knowledge of gear and velocity ratios. To perform this experiment, you'll want to do the following steps. First off, you need to get comfortable with the equipment. Take note that there are 8 different spur gears. There are numbers that you can see here, and don't forget the 8th gear in the back. There's also a planetary gear set where you can see the ring gear in blue, 3 planetary gears in red, and a sun gear in black. This planetary gear setup will be changed by changing the location of this pin. You can lock the input to the planetary gear to output a 1-to-1 ratio with the planetary gear, or you can lock this plate to the ground and you'll see that the planetary gear does change the gear ratio. It's also important to become familiar with the method in which you change the gears. You have first, second, and the little trick is to wiggle your input to change the gears if it gets stuck. Third gear, and a reverse. Once you've located all of the gears, it's important to write down the gears and count the teeth on every gear that you see. First, we'll start with the pin locking the ring to the aluminum plate, giving us a 1-to-1 gear ratio in just this section right here. It's important to put the pin in this location because if you put it on this side, it will hit the structure of the testing setup. Then we will put the system in first gear. Make note of all gear sets that are meshed and write those down. Then you'll have one student come over to the input dial and place the input at 0. They'll want to try to line the 0 mark up with the black Sharpie marker. Then another student on the output side will rotate the output to 0 as well. Now in this case, they'll need to hold the gear set up stationary while letting the output dial slip until you get to 0. Once both dials are set to 0, the student on the input side will turn the dial 360 degrees, and the student at the output side will write down what degree is read on the dial. This exact same thing will be done for all 4 gears. And it's important to note direction, especially when doing the reverse. After all 4 gears are set up, you'll change the location of the pin and lock from the ground to the aluminum plate, adding a little bit more complexity, making this a compound gear train. You'll run through the exact same steps that I just mentioned before and record all of the outputs for all 4 gears.